Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. So today I'm going to bring to you the second half, part 2 of 2, the PSA 700 card graded return. Two orders combined, a 500 card and a 200 card. But yeah, I figured I'd show you the second half of that because you saw the first half about a week and a half ago now. Mixed bag. You can see right here we've got a bunch of non-hollow rocket cards, a little bit of duplication on the more popular. You can see the odd low grade you'll find mixed throughout, but generally speaking, mostly 9 and 10s, as one would expect on non-hollow cards. PSA 7 Charmander, 8, we got 9s. Just as I've mentioned in so many previous videos, good inventory to have. We're going to see some flashes of pretty bad stuff that I graded. Lugia is Lugia, so this probably came in a theme deck or something, and I just had a ton of them. I don't know if I'd say I'd sent a ton of them, but one thing that I do from time to time is just like, oh, hey, Lugia, especially in PSA 10. I don't know what it goes for. I haven't listed them yet. I would think my cost basis in these is under $1 probably if they came in a theme deck. They probably go for very, very little raw near mint, like on Troll and Toad. I think I could at least get 25 or 30 for that. So an 8 and then a handful of 9s, mostly 10s. I'm sure I'm going to make a decent margin on that, but it'll probably be something slow for a Lugia collector to throw 25 or 30 bucks at a PSA 10. Pretty reasonable. Similar line of thinking with the Blastoise. This came up. I've mentioned these theme decks before, but the team up theme decks were awesome because you got Blastoise, you got Charizard, you got cards, coins, all that stuff. Italian. So I had some time ago, I had a bunch of Italian 2-player starter decks. Charmander's a 4 of in those. Charmeleon's a 2 of. So just, yeah. Decent bit of quantity of those from back in the day. A random regular base Machamp. This submission is probably in a fairly weird order. We're going to see base Japanese now. I think we're going to see like some of them got separated a little bit. But for anyone who tuned in last night, I actually did. I've got them right here, so I'll show it. But I did actually crack a Japanese starter deck on my live stream. Kind of out of order, but let me get them here. So yeah, a bunch of energies that nobody cares about. Really appreciate everyone who stopped in. I did a live stream last night. I'm recording this on Sunday the 27th. Saturday the 26th was my 1 year on YouTube. So to celebrate it, I opened up a Japanese starter deck. I've got that right here still. A lot of these Japanese cards that you see, I never opened like a complete Japanese box. I opened some random packs here and there, but the bulk of what I opened, probably a few dozen of the starter decks that I remember buying these back when they were 50 bucks or something years ago. So it was cool to open another one of those, kind of chase that Charizard, relive that, what I was ripping a few years ago. But yeah, I still have a decent amount of just pack fresh mint Japanese cards, and they've come down quite a bit like most other things have, but I think there's still, for 9s and 10s, there's still a pretty decent margin there. Either the decks are too cheap or the cards are too expensive. I know what I'd place my bet on, probably the cards being a bit too expensive. As we get access to cheaper grading, quicker turnarounds, I think that'll come down over time. And if not, as I sell them, I'm buying more of the decks, so I'm putting myself in a good position long term, kind of trading up in value as I tend to do in my business. These are Shining Legend Super Premium Collection promos. Ho-Oh, Lugia, can't really go wrong there. I think these ones, let's see if I have any 10s. So far, just 9s. But I want to say the 10 of this, I guess I didn't get any 10s. The 10 of this peaked me like $1,000, I want to say. More Shining Legends Super Premium Collection promos. Theme Deck promo Moltres. Again, similar to the Lugia. It's a pretty cheap card. Looks like all of them got 10s. It's a pretty cheap card, nothing too special. But for like, I mean, I like that card a lot. It's a original legendary bird. I could see somebody wanting to pay $30 to $50 for that, probably a species collector of Moltres or just a Gen 1 fan who really liked the legendaries from that generation. Continuing on the theme of just grading popular. Oh, I did pretty bad. So Korean, that's actually pretty interesting. This is just a regular base unlimited, but I also opened some Korean 2-player starter decks. Korean Unlimited, for anyone who's aware, is super, super rare. They didn't print too many of it, apparently. I guess the demand, by the time they were printing foreign languages, Korean specifically, they printed significantly more first edition Korean booster boxes than Unlimited. But they also printed the 2-player starter decks. The Machamp in the 2-player starter deck is first edition, but all the others. So, like, Korean Unlimited is quite rare, but don't fall for the trap of, like, Charmander, Charmeleon, I think, like, Machop, Machoke, Diglett. Any card that comes in the 2-player starter set is going to be a bit more common in Korean Unlimited than the others. Probably a significant bit. We got another... So a lot of 8s. More 8s than you'd like to see on a non-holo Charizard. I'm probably going to take a beating on those. Honestly, probably won't really take a beating. I'll probably be able to, like, break even on them, but I should take a beating on a non-holo Charizard. In hindsight, I was selling these on Troll and Toad for $4 or $5 a piece, raw, near mint. In hindsight, I wish I could go back, look at them closer, and maybe just grade a smaller amount. Looks like I got no 10s, unless they're split off somewhere else in the submission. These ones were graded so heavily. They came in the Vivid Voltage. It was one of the pre-release promos. The 10s, though, will probably do fairly well. I'm interested to see, I don't even know the pricing on these, but I mentioned it before when I was buying. Not only was I buying, like, the staff packs, I also did buy a lot of the pre-release kits because the lineup was just crazy. You had Charizard, Lugia, Snorlax, and then Donphin was kind of rear of the pack, but still decent Pokemon. There's some of the Snorlax. There's a 10-round Snorlax. But a lot of other people had the same idea, so I think these pops are shooting pretty sky high. They printed a lot of those kits. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago in a video that I had a big return coming up from PSA that was going to be super heavy in tops. I knew that these cards were in it, but there's some basic trainers right there. If he's watching, shout out to him. He was in the live last night. I know he's a tops guy and a Bulbasaur guy, but yeah, I thought that this was going to be the sub that was like a 500 card submission with almost exclusively tops cards. That is still at PSA. I don't know when it's going to come back, but random 6 there. A couple random 6s there. Must have a corner issue bend somewhere. But yeah, I'm excited for when that one comes back because not only does it have some tops chrome, it has some of the like die cut cards. It has some of the evolution cards. It has some of the more uncommon, I don't know if I'd say rare, but some of them might be a bit more rare. The less commonly seen, less commonly talked about tops cards. So hopefully in the coming weeks that one will come back. Team up Charizards to match with the team up Blastoises earlier. Looks like all 9s, no 10s. Got beat up on those ones. And then here I actually did grade. Looks similar. Looks like the Japanese base, but you can see in the bottom right there, CP6. This was the kind of the Evolutions equivalent. 20th anniversary set for Japanese, CP6. I did grade, not a ton of them, but I graded 2 Charmander 10s. I graded a Charmeleon. I don't think I graded all the holos, but maybe I did. Looks like we get right into the collector's chest. That fall collector's chest. In the first half of the video, I showed the armored Mewtwo's. Well, here are your Charizards that go with it. That was such a great tin, the 2019 fall collector's chest. A lot of 9s that I get. I got 110, looks like. So, fairly tough promo to grade. I think I also had only one of the armored Mewtwo's. Here are a couple of our Italian Machamps, which lost their Italian friends. A lot of just poor ordering here. So these ones, earlier ones I showed you were the regular. These were the staff cards. I sent most of the Charizard and Lugia at higher rates, but the Snorlax and the Donphin, I couldn't really justify paying 50 plus a card to grade them, so I just sent these at like the $10 tier a year and a half ago whenever I sent these. I did also open, again for anyone who's in the live stream, I opened a 4th print pack last night. Sadly, so my Charmander was 4th print, as you can see, 1999 to 2000 copyright date, which PSA now does label. My Alakazam, though, that came from the pack, when you open a holo out of a 4th print base pack, you have the chance to get just, I don't know if that's focusing, you have a chance to just get the regular 1999 for the holos. So a big miss there, getting the regular base unlimited Alakazam, but you win some, you lose some. And I knew that was like a risk going into it. Historically speaking, I've had pretty good odds on getting the 1999 to 2000 holos, but yeah, sometimes you miss. Bunch more of the PSA 10, 4th print. Again, I have so many Charmanders and Charmeleons because they were in the 2-player starter set. I likely didn't pull these ones from packs. I'm going to pause very quickly. I've gotten through 2 of my graded shoeboxes. I have 1 more to go, so I'll be right back. So here we are on the home stretch. A little bit of a mixed bag. Continuing, we have the Oddball PSA 4 Ancient Mew, which you love to see. Build-A-Bear promo. Some of the Japanese base cards that got separated from their brothers. These are the original, so these are Japanese. Interestingly, you could get Machamp, so they didn't have a 2-player starter set equivalent in Japanese. You could actually get the Machamp in this deck. So your odds of getting a Charizard in this versus a Charizard in like a regular base unlimited pack, 1 in 15 here, because the Machamp is in the 2-player starter set and you can't get it out of here. 1 in 16 here because they put the Machamp in. Just a little interesting bit I figured I'd share. A little bit of evolutions because you gotta have some evolutions. Shout out Jake because he's a huge fan, I've heard, of evolutions. Look at that Charizard. Twice the attack that we remember from our childhood with 30 more hit points. You love to see it. Continuing on with evolutions, we've got secret rares, we've got mega Charizards, we've got full art Blastoise, reverse holo Pikachus. As we go through some of this, back to base unlimited, these last few stacks, I'll talk about the plans for this week. So I do have, did the color just get weird on this? I can't really tell. Hopefully not. But yeah, I have a lot of cards that came back recently. Yeah, these are all base unlimited. This 700 card return, 2 returns is taken care of. Wednesday, I'll probably show you guys 2 of my 5 card PSA returns that I got back recently. Those were won through the lottery. And a random Arcanine base first edition. And then a Koro Mew PSA 8. A couple shiny Magikarps. I hope I didn't show these ones in the last video. I don't think I did. Legendary Jungle Unlimited. Let's Play Eevee PSA 6s. That's rough. But yeah, for the remainder of the week, Wednesday, I'm going to show you a couple of my lottery returns. And then some more Korean Unlimited. Some more Build-A-Bear that weren't with the other Build-A-Bear. And then Friday, I'm probably going to show CGC returns. And discuss a little bit the potential upcoming changes. I know CSG has some changes inbounds. And there's a lot of speculation out there. I think, yeah, this whole stack is just the Stow-on side, I think it was. Pin collection with Gengar promo. So Friday I'm going to talk about CSG changing their grading standards, changing their label, doing a complete revamp. It's interesting because CSG is owned by the company that also owns CGC. So there's a lot of speculation out there. Will CGC change things? Will they ditch some of the grades? Will they grade a little easier? Because those are a couple of the things that CSG are doing. I'll get more in depth there. But yeah, this week is going to kind of be a week of just graded card returns. And then the following week, for anyone who's unaware at this point, Nick and I have split the podcast off of our main channels. We started the new channel. Feel free to subscribe over there if you want to continue to following our podcast, Pokeflipz Podcast. That's going to be linked in the description of all my videos moving ahead. And as always, if you want to support the channel, I really appreciate everyone who stopped in last night for the live. But yeah, the eBay affiliate link's always down there. If you click that at no cost to you, gives me a little bit of a finder's fee of sorts for directing the traffic to eBay anytime you buy anything. And then the Patreon is there. Jake and I run the Pokenomics Patreon, so you can always find the link for that down in the description too. Really appreciate you all watching. Hope you enjoyed checking out some cards. We're going to have a lot of them to see this week. So with that, I will catch you all later.